G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm going to make a mold today. Yes I am. And I'm going to use this silicone putty from Resin. So it's a two-part. It's a blue and a white. And you basically mix them equal parts. I like to weigh them rather than just sort of get a blob and a blob. So what I want to do is I want to use this tin. I think my whole husband's wallet came in it actually. This is the bottom and it had like another little lid as well. So pick something that's reasonably high. You can choose a cake pan, a pizza pan, anything you like really. I like something with the high sides. I think I've only got one square druzy edge mold. My rock edge is square, so I want to do a square with a crystal edge. So it's probably a little bit shallower than I would like, but I'll probably just take the putty up a little bit. So I'm going to use this little tin as my sort of mold housing. You can, if you want to, just sort of make a worm, like roll out a worm of putty, on a silicone mat. But I think when you push down on it, it kind of goes flat, and yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, this is how I do mine. So, all right, I think I'm going to use about 120 of each. That's 120 there, only because I want enough so that it sort of comes up the sides a little bit up here. So 240. It seems like a lot. It does seem like a lot. Maybe not so much. Let's just do a oh, I don't know. Let's stick with it. Doesn't matter. So that's 120. 120. Okay, so another 120 of this one as well. Oh, look at that. 120. Perfect. All right, let's put that little bit back. I think that's good. Double check. Scale doesn't want a 0. 114. Why isn't it 120 now? 120. Okay, I did need that extra little bit. I thought I did. I don't know why I put it back. Okay, there we go. Now, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes working time. Probably not quite that if your room's really warm. So mix, mix, mix. Now I've got this one as well. I found that one as well in my little cupboard. I don't know why the dogs are barking. It's always the way, isn't it? They're quiet, and as soon as I come into the studio to do a video, it's barking. Gosh. All right, now I'm going to mix this until you can't see any white. But like I said, you've got to be pretty quick, because you've only got a 3 minute working time. I might leave a little bit of white. I'd rather mix for 30 seconds less and have 30 seconds more work time, if you know what I mean. All right, let's make a little sausage. Put that in there. Make another little sausage. It's got to be pretty thick because I want it to sort of come up the sides a little bit. Now where your join is, try and smooth that if you can. And I'd hate working so fast, but you really don't have much work time with this. Now I'm going to sort of make a bit of an angle, a sloping edge. And again, be as fast as you can. There's no room for error here. Just get it done. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. only because I think I can get into the corners a little bit better with that one. And then in there, kind of roll it up this. Oh, look at that! You can kind of change them up a little bit, you know, so you're getting different. Make sure you're kind of rolling it over the edge as well, so that you're getting right up the edge. Turn it round and make sure you're rolling it. Missed that bit there. You really don't have much time, so be quick. Okay, I think that's looking really good. Really pretty. Get into that corner there. Try not to go over them too much, but if there's a section that you really don't like, you could potentially go over it again. All right, now that's pretty much it. We're just going to leave it. I've got it coming up over the sides a little bit. Let's kind of straighten that. Haven't got as much coming over this side here. That's okay. Oh, I've got a little blank bit there. Let's see if I can put something else in that corner real quick. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to have time to do. Like I said, it goes off really quickly. A little bit of crystal left behind. Trying to get into that corner there. All right, so that's pretty much it. You could kind of straighten the bottom just a little bit if you've got time. Okay, so that's looking really good. I'm happy with that. It's not too symmetrical. It's got a little bit of movement in it, which is nice. And yeah, basically we just need to, I hope I didn't get my head in under the camera. I was trying to see what I'm doing. It's hard when you're trying to show people and, you know, have to sort of look from a distance because I can't get my head under the camera. I think that's looking nice though. Hope so. If you do it too soon and the putty's like really soft, it kind of closes in. Again, if you do it too late and the putty is starting to go hard, it doesn't leave a proper indent. So you've just got to get in there, do it as fast as you can, and hopefully that'll look pretty. All right, so that's that done. I didn't end up using that one. It's got a bit of a funnier point there, and I don't think I could get it into the corner as well as this one. So yeah, if you go to the markets, you generally find pieces of amethyst like that. So keep your eye out for making molds with it. All right, I will let that cure overnight. It's late now. Well, it's 9 p.m. I'm not going to pour now. This will be cured in about half an hour, but we'll leave it till tomorrow and I'll pour in it then. All right, that was fun. Pretty easy. You just got to go for it. You got to, in like Flynn, hey, do it fast. See you tomorrow. All right, it's the next day and my little mold is ready. I must say, I'm not all that happy with it. And it's not the silicone's fault, because when I did my little first sample when I got it and I pressed my crystal into it, I got a really clear imprint, like really nice. The points are nice and pointed, everything's sharp looking, so happy with it. But when I pushed them in onto the sides, I got a different effect. The points are kind of puckered. They're not sharp. There's these sort of rounded edges. Like that one there, that one's okay. It's like, it's a point. But basically, I don't know how it's going to look, but it doesn't look the same as that. And the only thing I can think of is because it was on an angle and not flat. So, but anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I will do another mold using this silicone in a different way of making it. I'll just pop that out of there. So yeah, I will do another mold using that silicone just to see if we can get a better imprint, because yeah, not really happy with that. So there's our little mold. Now I'm just going to use this silicone tray that I've got. Now because I sell molds, and you know they have to last forever, the master molds. I don't use this particular process in its entirety to make my molds, so there's no point going through all of that unless you're a professional mold maker. But for now, we're just going to pour into this, and cross fingers, it's not going to leak. Okay, so I'm just going, I thought I'd do just a 3D bloom with a little bit of gold in the center, and then paint some gold around the outside, just delicate, just to see what it's going to look like. So let's do that. I am using the Let's Resin Fast Cure, the 4-hour fast cure with my bloom. So I've got 10 grams in there. It's only a tiny little piece there. So 10 grams, depending on how sort of opaque you want your flour, that will determine how many drops you get. 1, 2, that tiny little drop. So I'm going to use 2. If I think it's too dark, I'll just add a little bit more resin, but hopefully it'll be all right. So give that a stir. I probably mixed up way too much. I guess the good thing about doing a bloom, like I'm only going to pour it, I don't know, like 1/4 of an inch, about 6 millimeters deep. You don't really want your blooms any deeper than that. And then we'll see if it's going to leak. We'll see if my mold's going to leak. Hopefully it won't. And then when it's sort of cured, then you can fill it up to whatever depth you would like. And you don't have to fill it up all the way, whatever you want. So I'm not going to put any alcohol ink in. I'm just going to do white blooms. Make sure that you've stirred it really well. Try not to stir like a crazy woman or man. Because you don't want to get bubbles. You don't want to get bubbles. All right, and then I've got a tiny little bit in here, and I'm just going to add some of this Let's Resin Gold Opal glitter. Probably got way too much in there, resin-wise. I just need a little paste. So with this one, I don't mind if my gold kind of spreads and kind of looks a bit pretty in between all the white petals. Don't mind that at all. So there it is. It's in a bit of a paste there. The Let's Resin 4-hour resin is quite a thick resin to begin with, so you don't really have to wait. If your room's really cold, like if you're in a cold area, you might want to wait. I probably mixed this maybe 10 minutes ago, and it's just been sitting there waiting for the bubbles to come up. I was going to spray. No, I better not spray, because the alcohol interferes with your blooms. It really does. So, yep. Just going to pour some in there. Don't leak, don't leak, don't leak. That's probably about as deep as it needs to be. It's probably about 1/3 of the way up the mold. Like I said, I don't want to make it too deep at the moment. Be careful not to knock your mold at this stage. Just leave it. Don't touch. We'll give it just a very light little torch. Nope, can't get those bubbles. All right, so I'm just going to use my stick to kind of draw some petals, like so. Yeah, it feels so weird doing this in a square mold. Oh, it does, it feels weird. So I thought I'd start on the outside this time. I always start in the middle for some reason. I thought, let's start on the outside. I may go back and do some more on the outside, just as that resin sort of moves in, because resin does want to move inwards. Like so. Doesn't really matter how you put it, just get it in there. You can take your time, of course, and make it really neat and pretty, but I'm just kind of winging it. I am. A little bit more there. All right, so that'll do. Didn't use that all. Don't need to use that all. And I'm going to just use a toothpick, I think. Toothpicks are all stuck to me though. Let me clean my hands. I put my isopropyl alcohol in this, so I just have to put my hand underneath it and it gives me a blob of alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol that I can clean my hands with. Now, where there's a blob like that, I'm just going to kind of smooth it over a little bit, and I don't mind if I kind of make a little petal here and there. How's that looking? I think that's looking quite pretty. Yep. Liking that. All right, so now all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glitter in the center. Just like so. Oops, it doesn't want to spread anyway. I thought it might spread, but it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to spread. Oh gosh. Spread. When you want it to spread, it doesn't. Probably put too much in. I wonder if I can get it out. I think I've made it too kind of clumpy. Oh, I'm going to wreck my flower, aren't I? Made it too clumpy. Let's add a little bit more resin to it. I've still got some here. I do want the, I never say that, but I do want the glitter to spread this time. I do. Normally I don't. Let's put a little bit more in. Like so. There we go. I kind of just want to like a little drizzle of it in the center. So, like it was just looking a bit too blobby and sort of opaque before. So, let's just kind of spread it a little bit like so. Okay. I'm not going to do a swirl or anything like that. I'm just going to just leave it. Go away, fly. Don't you dare touch my resin. I'll get you. All right, I think that's looking really pretty. Give it a quick little torch. I've been so concentrating on my bloom, I haven't checked my mold. Let me have a look. I haven't checked. Silicone's pretty good at adhering to other silicone. Oops, get your fingers out of the way, woman. I don't see any leakage. So I think we're all good. I think we're good. All right. I'm just going to cover this and give it some time to do its thing, and then I'll fill it up with some. Well, I'm not going to fill it all the way. It's quite a deep mold, and just back it with a little bit more clear resin. I'll do that in a few hours. Right. It's the next day, and it's ready to unmold. I did just fill a little bit more with the clear resin. I couldn't see the point of videoing that, but I just put a little bit more clear in on top, so it's a bit deeper. All right, now let's see if we can just get this off the mold. Look at that. Look at that. Look how easily that came off. Now, the only thing is, I'm not sure whether or not these marks, I don't know if you can see them. You can see the square kind of indent where the other mold was sitting. So I would suggest that if you're going to use one of your good molds, make sure that, well, you can use it again and again. You just use one mold and keep using that for your molds that you're making, rather than you know, keep ruining other molds. Or you could just get a silicone mat, but you have to make sure that it is a shiny silicone mat. You can buy those pretty cheaply on Amazon, so I should probably get some of those if I'm going to keep doing this. All right, but look, it's a great homemade way of doing your molds. I'm just hoping I'm not going to get too much of a little lip there where we join the bottom. All right, now we have to do the demolding and the actually I can feel a little bit of silicone, I think, a little bit of resin. Is that resin or is that just, I'm not sure. I can't tell yet. Can't tell yet. Oh no, it's coming out easily. It's just the bottom of the silicone that I can feel. Maybe there's a tiny bit there. All right, it's out. There we go. Now you can use this again and again. Oh, there was just a tiny bit. Look at that. Little thin tiny bit of silicone there. But you can certainly reuse that mold, but I would suggest putting it, I mean, you can use your same mold again and put it in the same spot, or I would suggest getting the silicone sheet. All right, now I don't think there's too much of an overhang anywhere. All right, should we just do this and see what our 3D bloom looks like, and then we can have a look and see what the crystals on the outside look like, hey? All right. Here we go. Hope it's going to be pretty. I might put some black on the back just for the reveal. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that's really pretty. Look at that. That's so pretty. And my gold did exactly what I wanted my gold to do. Just kind of flutter a little bit there. A little bit. Just a little bit of flutter. There you go. What do you think? All right. Now, more importantly, we need to look at this mold that we've made. Actually looks really good. I'm surprised because when I was looking at this I thought, oh, that's not gonna work, but it's really pretty. Wow. I will get my little clippers out because I can see just around the edges here that I'm going to want to just sort of trim off a few of these. Not very much. I like the raggedy look. I might just trim just a couple. That looks really sharp. We'll cut that off just to kind of make it a little bit more symmetrical. How about this side? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And again, just kind of make it sort of a little bit more symmetrical. Get rid of some of these sharp points. All right, there we go. What do you think? Okay, so now the only sort of issue, and I guess it's not really an issue, but you get like a tiny little lip here on the sides, just because, I don't know if you can see, just because of this thickness here. See that little bit there? It's kind of just smooth there along the edges. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, trim it back a little bit, but the only issue with that then is it's not going to be shiny. Like if you had to sand that, it's not really going to be very shiny. I'll just trim a little bit. I am going to go around the edge with my gold pen, like I said to you at the beginning of the video, and that's a really good way to hide these little edges. So don't be disheartened if you unmold and you get that. It's perfectly normal with this way of making molds. There's my husband yelling at me. He made me a coffee and I said, oh, I'll just go and sit with the dogs and drink my coffee. And then I came out here to unmold. So he says, I thought you were sitting with your dogs. Oh no, I'm videoing. All right, let's let's do this edge. I think that's really, really nice. I probably didn't need to make it quite that deep. But with this sort of mold, it's up to you. You know, you can stop halfway, you can stop 3/4 of the way, you can go all the way, just depending on what you want to do with it. You might decide, well, I want to put, you know, something big in there, something thick, some dried flowers. Then you've got the option of using that full depth to put whatever it is that you want to put in there. You know, I only wanted to put the 3D bloom. So here we go. We are going to trim that up a little bit just there. I'm going to just, with my Deco colour pen, just going to, oops, it's a little bit there, go around. Now it's up to you how thick or thin you want to make your little line here. I think I'll probably make it quite thick just to hide that edge. So what I'm doing is I'm following the little edge all the way around, and you can see it's not like totally square, which I think is quite nice. You know, it gives a little bit of movement in the piece, a little bit more of a natural look to the piece. I do like the Deco colour, it's my favourite gold. Some of them are like too yellow, and then others that I find they kind of throw like a green shade, and I think, oh, that's not very nice. So there we go, there's that there. Now if you wanted to, you could also go along the outer edge with your gold. Might be a little bit difficult with this pen though. Let's go a little bit thicker. Probably not really going any thicker. I'm just going over it again. It's probably a good idea to wait until your first layer of gold has dried before you go over it again. Otherwise, you're basically just taking it back off again. All right, now I wonder what it's going to look like. If you know how sometimes I go onto the first layer of crystals, I wonder what it would look like if I kind of just go in here a little bit and go into this, like just on the side there a little bit. What do you think? Might not be very easy to do because of all the crystals. Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's going to be way too difficult with this pen. I will show you in a video coming up how you can make your own gold, like for painting on, which would be perfect for this. But yeah, with the pen it's not so easy. I do have some gold like in a bottle that you paint on, but again, it's not the shade that I like. It's one of them's like too copper, the other one's too green. So anyway, there it is. Love it. And that is how I make my own molds. Now there's heaps, I mean heaps of videos out there on YouTube. Basically they're similar, you know, they're all similar. There's you make your worm with your silicone putty and you press things into it. So there's not much you can change about that. The way I do it though is to support the sides, like I showed you with my tin. And if you want to do a round one, you can use a pie tin. If you want a small one, pie tins are really good. Small cake tins, but it's better if it's got the slope on it. Yeah, so a pie tin usually. Small pizza trays work really well as well. You can get them in different sizes, and they've got the, you know, the slanting, sloping side, so that works really well as well. So have a go. That's actually turned out really well. You can actually see the points, the crystal points. There you go. Not quite as shiny as the top. It's got a slight matte. Well, it's still shiny, but it's not as shiny as my resin top is. But yeah, still looks really good. I'll take it outside for you and show you a little picture of what the crystals look like in the sunshine. But yeah, what do you think? Not bad at all. Have a go. I will link the that's Resin silicone putty down below for you. And in the next video, well, not necessarily the next video, but a video coming up, we will make an imprint of this, like I showed you I did with that little blue one. We'll make an imprint of it, and I'll show you how you can turn it into a mold and make your own resin pieces out of that. All right, that'll be coming up soon. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Take care, and I'll see you all again for the next video real soon. Bye for now.